What's going on, Roundup family? It's your boy, Chris Haskins. We're here tonight to talk to you about real estate investing strategies and secrets and tips with my good friend, mentor, and fellow real estate investor, Dan Borrero. What's up, Dan?
Good, good, good. It's that time of night, man.
Oh, Lord, Dan, we got to keep
I,
y'all help.
I
Listen,
will not fall asleep on you again. I trust me. That'll never happen again.
we're going to keep this is the Keep Dan Borrero Awake podcast.
That's my bedtime, people.
Me too. We're going to be here for a few minutes and we're gone. But Dan, tonight we're gonna be taking live calls, y'all. Look, there's a phone number right there. You get to talk to the man himself, Dan Borrero. Ask your
Yeah,
question.
yeah, me.
Huh?
You get to talk to Chris Haskins himself.
Both of us.
Take advantage of that. I mean, man, I call up Chris and I thank God every time he picks up. That's how busy he is.
We both running crazy. So tonight you get to talk to both of us. If you got a question, call in. You can call right in. Tell us what you're going through in real estate. Are you having a problem? What are you thinking about doing? Have you done something you screwed it up, or you want us to help you get out of it? So hey, one of our channel members, what's going on, Deborah? Good to see you. Thank you so
Deborah
much.
Jackson, how are you?
Good to see you. So, Dan, hot topic today. Let me show you this. Let me get my screen here so we can bring it up. Hot topic here is Kamala Harris. We got this $25,000 down payment first time home buyers assistance. The government's giving away money, Dan. I always get nervous when the government gives away money for people to buy stuff. And I want to know what you're thinking about this and what's your opinion, or give me some of your background on what happened in the past with you at all.
So a couple of things I have on this, man. You and I, I know you probably agree with me. Well, maybe to an extent. The reality is, every time the government gives out free money to supposedly quote unquote the people that need it, somehow or another, it ends up going to the people who don't need it, the very wealthy, because the people who need it are spending it with the very same people that prepared in their lives, and that's how they became wealthy, right? Where's that money going? Well,
Wow.
let's
Deep.
assume let's assume you get the 25,000. All right, now you want to go buy a house with this 25,000. That's what it's earmarked for. But there's not enough inventory for the people that actually worked and had the money and prepared for it, right? Or, and educated themselves so they wouldn't need that assistance. So now that's going to put a bigger strain on inventory that we don't have enough of. Secondly, the prices are going to go up. So what good is that $25,000? And we've had this conversation how, you know, they're just, in my opinion, setting up people for failure. Why are
That's
you
a
not
good point.
educating people instead? Teach
Mm,
people how to fish instead of giving them a fish. So
mm,
I would love to see that money go into the high schools,
mm.
right? Or go into training for adults, teaching people how to have a relationship with money, teaching people how to have a checkbook. What's the difference between a CD and a money market?
Mm.
What's the difference between a brokerage account versus a money market? What's the difference? What is it? What are dividends? What's the S&P 500 versus the Dow Jones or the Nasdaq? Right? You know how what, you know teach people how to fish so that they don't need to ask the government or wait for the government for a handout. They're gonna have the tools they need to go out there and make their own money. In high schools especially, right? Why are we not making it mandatory that every high school student across the entire United States has to take no less than four
Financial
financial
literacy.
literacy classes? So
Why do
that
you think that is, Dan? Why? How come? How come?
because I truly believe the school system, that which was the school system we have today was primarily encouraged by the Rockefellers, and it was encouraged by the Rockefellers because they needed robots, they needed people to work, they needed people to know, how to make a fraction into a decimal so they could be machinists, right? They
Hmm.
needed, think about it. The bell rings and you got to get up off your chair and you got to walk down the hall to another class. Well, it's the same thing at the job. The bell rings. Oh, I can go to lunch now. Oh, the bell
Mm.
rings. I got a 15-minute lunch break. The bell rings. Oh, I got to go back to work, right?
Mm.
So it's set up. Our educational system is not geared towards teaching people common sense or life skills rather than how to go work for somebody. I mean, again, that's my opinion. I could be very wrong with it. anybody has a, wants to debate with me, I don't have a problem. Just be respectful.
Everybody keeps their dignity here tonight, y'all. Call in, talk to Dan
Yeah,
about this stuff. Both of us.
Why not spend that 25,000 per person educating people on how to have a relationship with money?
Good point.
Right? Or why not? How about making housing more affordable?
Create
create more housing.
Create some affordable
The more
housing.
demand there is, the more inventory there is, right? Eventually, the inventory will level off with the demand, and the pricing will come down. We won't see people paying, $900,000 for a townhouse, a bullshit townhouse made out of wood, in Staten Island, New York, for instance, or the outskirts of Long Island, right? So why not, work with developers in creating more inventory so that the more inventory you get, it'll level off with the pricing. I'd rather see that happen.
Let me look at something, Dan. Let's see if I can find the last one. Home tax credit. Here we go. So this is what I know. I think we talked about this. So Dan, check this out. In 2008, right after the crazy crash, the Obama administration enacted the federal first-time homebuyers tax credit, created as a response to the 2008 financial crisis. The Housing and Economic Recovery Act allowed new home buyers to get a tax credit of $7,000.
Chris, I had forgotten about that until you mentioned it again.
You got a first caller here. Oh shit! We got a caller. 1 second.
Press 1 to send a voicemail.
You live with Chris and Dan. Could you hold 1 second, please?
Hi, Chris.
Hello.
Press 1 to send a voicemail.
Hold on 1 second. I'm still going with Dan. We're gonna bring you in a minute, y'all. 1 second, okay? Go ahead, Dan. Yeah,
I had forgotten about that, to be honest with you, but I don't remember seeing a lot of those 7,500 tax credit on many HUDs, and we were rocking and rolling back then.
Oh, Dan, I saw, man. Every one of mine had it. Everyone, and let me tell you this, Dan. I would sell the properties on using that. Did you know I was buying the properties back then?
Tell them why. Where were you buying them back? At the auction, right?
Auction, because what I found out happened was people would get the tax credit, right? Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Caller, 1 second. I'm sorry, Dan. I'm still trying to get this Roadcaster Pro working. Then they would sell us the house, and then they couldn't afford to buy it anyway. And then next thing I know, I'm like, damn, they got the tax credit. They're losing the house, and I'm having to buy the same damn house. So that taught me that you can't just give people money to buy real estate. That's not how real estate works.
Many times, Chris, I find that people can't afford it. They have the income to afford it.
They got to make it.
They just don't have the skill and their lifestyle. Hence the reason why we need courses.
Good point. Caller, you on the line with us? Hello, are you there?
Yes.
Do you have a TV?
Chris, I'm here. It's Deborah Jackson.
Yeah. Ask her if you have a TV on the background.
Caller, you got to turn your. I see you here. You got to turn down your.
Yeah, please turn off your TV or the radio you have on in the background.
Chris, can you hear me better now?
Yes, we can. Much better.
You got
Hello?
it there?
Yes, perfect.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. I can. Hello.
You there? What happened to her?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Dan?
I can hear you.
Chris, can you hear me?
Can you hear her, Chris?
No, hold on. I have one more slight issue. Why is this thing not coming through? Let me do this.
While we're waiting for Chris to fix that, I want to show you guys something.
Go ahead, Dan.
This here is an expense analysis sheet on a commercial property that we're looking at buying. This is what I'm going through tonight in detail. But I'm also confirming what he's saying is the expenses for this property. And there's multiple ways to do that. And we don't have enough time tonight to cover that subject matter. But the point is, the reason I won't fail if I buy this property is because I took the time out to study the numbers. The reason I could afford that because I decided when I was younger to have a relationship with money, to understand how money really works. And this is my argument. I'd rather have the government take that $25,000 that they want to give people to go buy a house and invest that money in educating, especially our youth, our kids in high schools, to have a relationship with money. And what does that mean, having a relationship with money? So that they don't need any financial assistance. That's, Are you there, Chris? Deborah Jackson, are you still there? So we are trying this out for the first time, guys, where you could call in. So, bear with us. If you have any questions, put it up so that we could answer your questions in the interim. The other thing is Chris and I were talking just during the week about the interest rates. And, I was talking to like 3 different realtors, one of them yesterday at a block party, and she was saying how within an hour of the interest rates that it became public that the prime rate dropped by a 0.5%, she got 7 new phone calls from potential buyers. 7 new phone calls from potential buyers. So I think it's going to bring a lot of new buyers into the market. Needless to say, I don't know if they're going to be prepared to pay the increase in
Call
price.
from Deborah Jackson.
Deborah.
Yes. Chris, how are you?
I'm on top of the world. 1 second. Let me make sure Dan.
I can hear. It's perfect.
Hey, Dan.
How are you, Deborah Jackson?
Well, I don't know what the hell. Sorry. Listen, man, we not tech people. We buying houses.
I mean, I can hear it good. Can you hear it?
I just saw Dan Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay, we saw Dan at.
I was on his free mentorship class.
Oh, so that was Wednesday.
That's right. That's cool.
So I do for the audience, I do a free mentorship class every single Wednesday night at 8 p.m. If you want to join that, it's free to join, free to attend. Just go to Daniel Burrow.
Oh, man.
So what's the question, Deborah?
Go ahead. What you got, Deborah? Where you at, Bob? First, let everybody where you at. And what you
I agree. Oh, yeah. I'm from Willingboro, New Jersey.
Okay.
I only have one house, and that's the one I live in, my primary residence.
I don't want to minimize this. I need to clap this up for you. Come on, dog. You only. Come on, man.
That's not only. That's more than a lot of Americans have.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, that's a lot. Shit, some people have 0.
That's right.
Don't think I know how it is hanging out with Dan Burrow. I know how it is hanging out with him. Like, damn.
Oh, Dan put me on. He's like, Deborah, educate yourself. Don't you step out and get no house. He set me straight.
Educate yourself first, all the time.
So what you got?
So what's your question, Deborah?
What's on your mind?
Oh, I'm sorry. So, Chris, I remember when I was coming up in school, they used to have the education classes that taught you how to wood shop and sew, and they taught you economics. And they took it out of the high schools because too many people were going into the field, and they were making blacks and Hispanics, and they were making a trade, building a trade straight from high school. And they were getting out into market, and they were taking jobs. So they shut that program down, and they switched it over to college. So now, instead of you getting it free in high school, you had to pay for it. So I agree with Dan on that matter. They need to bring that education program back into the high schools and teach these children. We are so far behind because you got the Asian people, they teach their kids 3rd, 4th grade. They're learning economics. They're learning how to handle money. Here in the United States, we are like at the bottom of the barrel when it comes down to educating on finances and economics. So we got to raise that literacy. I taught my kids myself. I got them a checkbook and I gave them money as they made up their beds and stuff. Everything I did, they had to earn. I didn't just hand them money.
Okay.
And as we did that, they noted in their little bank books how much they got, where they were spending it, so they could see where their money was going. I got to make you laugh. I had one daughter, she was slick. Every time we went to the store, she always forgot her money. So she would borrow from her brothers and sisters. In the meantime, she would. But I made her pay it back once I got hit for her game. I made her pay them back.
All right.
All learned
At least she understood the value of money. Obviously,
that's the first thing I taught them, and I started that at 7.
What you say, Dan?
I started them on that at 7 years old.
At least she understood the value of money. She didn't want to spend her money.
That's
yeah. So
listen, you know what? I agree with you.
I say don't wait.
Hold up. Go ahead.
Start the kids.
Would you say,
I would
Dan?
like to. I agree with you. I'd like to see vocational high schools come back online. We need electricians, we need plumbers, we need welders. And by the way, if I knew in high school what I know now, I wouldn't have gone to college. I would have went and been a plumber. Literally.
Wow. That's deep, man.
Yeah.
So I'm 100%. I mean, you
What
think
makes you say that, Dan? Go a little bit deeper on that, because I mean, I feel like college is like the golden
brother, but
brick road.
it took me when I'm my junior year in college that I realized that they teaching me how to go work for somebody. I want to learn how to be an entrepreneur. I came to college to learn how to work for myself. This ain't what I signed up for, Whereas, if I was thinking back, I remember my guidance counselor, her name was Miss Leo. I told her, I want to go to college. She said, why? I said, I want to be rich. And she said,
okay.
You don't really have the grades and this and that. She said, why don't you go be a car mechanic? And I was like, I don't know no rich car mechanics. And then she said, why don't you go be a plumber? She said, I don't know any rich plumbers. But thinking back, that's because the circle I was around. If I had been exposed to a different circle environment,
you the right people.
I would have went and been a plumber. I have 6, 7 trucks on the road making $1,500 to $3,000 per truck profit a day. I'd be making.
Not everybody had those people.
Literally a day, 15,000.
You had some.
Think about it. Everybody, Chris, how much does it cost you every time you call a plumber?
Yeah, but I'm just.
I mean, guys, the trades schools need to come back. People could become. I know a plumber that's got 42 buildings in Manhattan. And if you talk to this guy, I can't believe he got a plumbing license. Right? This guy's got 42 buildings in Manhattan.
Unbelievable.
The tallest building he's got is 20 doors, and they're all paid for. All from plumbing.
Deborah, did you have any? I want to make sure we get you. You got a question or anything, or we're gonna take the next caller. What you got? Was that the statement that you wanted? That was important.
No, I was going to tell you that my mother, she taught us how to, lay down floors. She taught us how to do electricity. How to do small things. No big electricity job. She taught us those things. So I had painting and all of that. She taught us those things. So when I moved into this, I got crazy prices to paint the living room because my living room is huge.
Yeah.
And they wanted to charge me like $1,100, $1,200. I got in here and I painted it myself.
Wow, good for you.
And I did a damn good job, I have to say. Everybody that comes in here, they love it. They love the color. They ask, who did I get to paint? I said, I did. And I'm disabled.
Get out of here.
I only have use of my right hand. I had a stroke.
Okay.
And it shut down the left side of my body. But I didn't let it stop me. I got in here. I have those boxes, those, what you call it, French boxes or whatever.
Yeah.
I went one box at a time. It took me 2 weeks to paint it, but I got it done.
Yeah.
Me and my kids. got it done.
Was it good to hear your voice?
Deborah, thank you so much for sharing that with us.
I gotta get with you anyway because I gotta buy some programs from the both of you guys. I gotta buy some more programs.
We see you.
All right.
We're gonna see you here.
So,
We're gonna be coming up. Matter of fact, we're working on a whole bunch of stuff. So just stay tuned. Good to see you.
okay.
All right. Bye.
Good night, Deborah. Thank you for
Take
being
care.
on.
Thanks for answering the call.
Yeah, thanks for calling. That was a sweet lady, man. She sounded like she
Yeah,
sounds
she comes to our mentorship classes and she actually does really good. She participates, man. She's asking questions. Yeah, she does really good.
Call in to ask Dan Borrero or me a question or both of us. The number's right on the screen. This is probably going to be the only time you're going to get Dan without having to pay, or me for that matter. But Dan, my home is being sold for $7,000 Goslin. $7,000. I owe nothing. I can't find anyone to give me a loan with bad credit or credit score of that. Yeah, my Goslin wants to know. Dan,
For $7,000, I go take a credit card, cash account book.
I get a credit card on that. Borrow the money. Shit,
For
shit.
$7,000, I ain't gonna let that go.
Yeah, I won't let the house go.
I'm gonna go beg, borrow, and steal. I'm gonna go to every family member, friend, you know. And if they want to feel safe, they could always go to Chris. Chris has on his channel where they could literally, he teaches you how to secure that loan for them, where they're now going to be the first mortgage holder because it's only $7,000. If you don't pay them back, they could always foreclose on you, right? Chris has all the documents you need for that.
Goslin, I love you. I want to say that first, but I don't think you got a money problem. You know what I mean, Dan?
Oh.
I don't think you got a money problem. We can get to Goslin. We'll get to you in a minute. You're live with Chris and Dan. Please give me your name and where you're calling from.
Hey, how you doing, guys? My name is Al. I'm in Brooklyn, New York.
Al.
First, I want to say thank you both.
Brooklyn in the house.
Yeah, thank you both for doing what you guys do, providing us with this free information.
No doubt.
Quick question for both of you guys. Looking to purchase a multifamily property in Brooklyn, New York. First-time home buyer.
First-time home buyer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The property needs a complete renovation. It's been sold off market.
Complete renovation.
Asking price is 1.3.
What's my pay?
Okay.
All right.
The Zillow estimate is 1.1, but it appraised for 1.7.
Okay, so you got to go by the appraised value, not the Zillow estimate.
Is there anything that I should be concerned about? Anything I should be looking?
How many units is it? Give me a name again, brother.
Al.
Al. How many units is it?
It's 3 units. 3/2.
How many beds and baths in each one?
It's
3
two.
bedrooms.
3 bedroom, 1 bath in each one.
2, 2, 1.
Yeah.
3. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, 3. Go ahead, Dan.
If you don't mind me asking, what part of Brooklyn? Hello? Al? Did we lose Al?
Flatbush.
Flatbush. Is it a frame house or is it
Flatbush area.
Is it brownstone, frame, pre-war construction, brick? What is it? Does he hear us?
Yeah. Al, you there, buddy?
It's newly brick construction.
And when you say renovations, what does it need in renovations?
I thought he said it needed everything, Dan.
Yeah, but he's saying it's new brick, so it doesn't make sense.
Full renovation, roof, everything needs to be redone.
So what are you estimating that it's a gut job? So what are you estimating that job to be? Yeah, I don't know if he can hear me.
I don't know.
Well, the seller is going to do the gut job. The seller is going to do the full renovation. So when I receive the property, it'll be fully remodeled.
At what price?
At 1.3?
Hello?
1.3.
There's a lot of things that don't make sense here.
Yeah. Why would I fix it up to you and sell it for you $400,000 cheaper than what it's worth?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. That's number one. Number two, I wouldn't want the seller to do the work. You want the seller out of there.
You're gonna do the cheapest possible, right, Dan?
Yeah, exactly. And number four, if you're looking at buying this, your rent, if you're going to move into it, you should be looking to do a house hack situation where the top two apartments will pay all of the costs for that building. So you could be living there for free. I would take the first floor and fix the yard and then take also the basement so you can make it a finished basement and incorporate that into the first floor, right? So you'll have more square footage, even though it may be a 2-bedroom, 2-1. But if you incorporate the ground floor and the yard, you'll have a lot more value for you and your family. But there's a lot of things that don't sound right. And this, I don't know, for whatever reason, when this platform's not working the right way right now for you to answer our questions, you could schedule a one-on-one with either Chris Haskins or myself.
That's Dan Borrero. Yeah. But Dan, hold on, before we let him go, Al.
Yeah, I'm here.
Why is he selling the property since it's off market?
Well, he's an investor. This is what he does. He, buy run down vacant properties and picks it up and sell it.
So see, I look at it like this, Chris. Tell me if I'm wrong.
He's your perfect guy. Like this is a Dan Borrero special.
Yeah, I look at it like this. If he needs you to close on it so he can have the money to fix it. And if he's so good at what he does, and this is what he does, he shouldn't need you to close to fix it to then sell it. Do you see what I'm saying to you?
He holding it though, Dan. Al's gonna hold on to it.
Yeah, but I personally, in my experience.
All right, let's get Dan getting riled up. Hold on. Al. Al, let's just hold on. All right, Dan, take a deep breath.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money, Al. Dan does a lot of money time in Brooklyn, right? So what Dan does is he'll have so all of us, if we have an end buyer before we go into it, that is what we call icing on the cake.
It is.
So Al, I'm thinking you're the end buyer for me before I even get into this deal, right? Which at the end of the day, if you're that end buyer, you're not getting any type of deal. Like you just buying it based on. And Al, do you think you're getting it such a great? I mean, why would he sell it?
Let me ask Al. Al, did the appraisal come from your?
I don't think I'm getting a spectacular deal. I'm thinking I'm getting
a $400,000 discount is a spectacular deal.
$400,000 discount's a great deal, especially in Flatbush.
Yeah,
I mean, cheap.
Al, what makes you say that, brother?
I mean, I'm just basing off the comps that's currently being listed on the market.
So it ain't worth 1.7 then.
I mean, according to the appraisal that he did.
According to you, yeah, you the one who's on the hook.
Forget Zillow. Forget Zillow.
Yeah, forget Zillow.
Don't go by Zillow estimates. You can see what houses are selling for in that area on Zillow or Trulia.
You just pull your own comps from Zillow, right there.
And you could also see what houses have sold for in that area. And then what you do is you look at the listing for those houses that sold, because they're going to still be up. If you type in the address of the house that sold, and it'll show you what how the pictures look like. So let's say the house sold for 1.7 and it was spectacular. Everything was brand new, 12-foot ceilings, recessed lighting, marble floors, granite counters, kitchens, bathrooms was drop dead gorgeous. And your property's going to look like that, then that's a good comp. But if what you are buying, right, sold for less, then it's a bad comp. And you could go by the pictures of what sold because the listings will still be up. I wouldn't go by his appraised value or his appraiser. I just wouldn't do that. I don't like like when I buy a property from the buyer, if they did the work, I'm going to send my inspector in to say, okay, let's make sure there's no aluminum wire. Let's make sure he took out all the galvanized plumbing. Let's make sure he took out all the lead paint that's behind the walls. Let's make sure
what a framing.
there's no asbestos in the basement around the old pipes or around the boiler. Let's make sure that there's nothing happening around, because that probably has a rock foundation if it's old. Let's make sure there's no gaping holes for the rats and mice to get into. There's all these things that that inspector will check for you, right? But it always worries me. I don't know anybody who's come out good when they buy a property from someone with the expectations of that person then fixing it.
Al, I would highly recommend you get a consultation with Dan Borrero, man.
Yeah. Chris, you guys need to figure out how you could hear both you guys at the same time, because I'm trying to listen to Dan and he can't hear me.
You can't hear Dan?
I could only hear him through the TV. I can't really hear him on the phone like I can hear you.
Okay, well, this is the first time we're doing this. We're working on this.
Al,
I understand. I got you.
And Al, I appreciate you telling us that, man, because we can't fix something we don't know. So
thank you, brother.
I can't thank you enough. And thank you. I can't thank you enough for coming on and sharing this with us, because whether you realize it or not, you just helped a lot of people tonight with that question.
Damn right. Al, you did, dog. I'm glad you had the balls to get on here and say this stuff, because you know what's weird? No, most people won't speak up. I'm like, we're the only ones speaking up. We screwing up or doing something. At least you're trying.
Listen, I'm trying to make it better, because I'm getting knowledge from this. So I want to make it as best as I can.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, I do a mentorship class every night.
You need to be there with Dan.
You could go to DannyBorrellJr.com right there on the screen. The other thing is, I have a video library, bro. I've done 107.
Yeah, Dan, I'll go to your mentorship class. I did about 2 weeks already. I'm not going to be here this Wednesday, but when you do come back, I'll definitely be there.
And then, so you know what I give out for free. And you should ask these questions. In the beginning of the class, we always take 15, 20 minutes and let people ask whatever questions. And then that way we could talk about it.
All right. Hey, Al, we got to take the next caller, man.
Thank you, Al.
Okay.
No problem. Thank you for your time.
Yes, sir. That was some good stuff.
Yeah.
Wow. Y'all give us a thumbs up for even bringing it out. That was wow. You know what, Dan? I was listening to a guy talk the other day. Round up. Anybody wants to call in and talk about one of your deals, the number's right there. Get us both. If you don't know how the deal can blow up and destroy you and lose money, you should not do that deal. If you don't know how, so for instance, if I don't know how the stock market is going to screw up, I don't know all the intricacies of whatever the hell deal you're doing. Like Dan knows not all, he knows the majority of things that could blow up on him on a deal. And I do too. We know as much as possible, right? We know, all right, I figured that. All right, cool. But if you don't know how the deal can blow up, don't do that deal.
I tell her, Chris and I, the one thing we have in common is when we look at a real
JP. To accept, press 1.
Go ahead, Dan. You can keep talking.
The one thing Chris
hold on 1 second, caller.
One of the things that Chris and I have in common is we have a lot in common, but one of the things we do have in common is we look at a deal as to why we should take it.
Yeah, why? Yeah, you tell me why I should buy it.
Sell me an idea why I should buy it. Because I don't need it. I don't want it.
I don't even need it. I'm like, I don't even want it. I got enough.
But if it makes sense, if it still makes sense after I say I don't want it, then okay, let's go deeper into the deal.
Dan, I love the way you put that. Caller, please tell me your name and where you're calling from, my brother or sister. I can hear.
My name is TJ. I come from South Florida. I had a quick question.
TJ,
regarding...
what up, brother? How you doing?
Thanks for being on here, TJ.
Good. So I recently purchased a house, and about 6 months ago, and I'm looking to do some more investing.
Hold on, TJ. Let's stay here, dog. Let's clap it up with TJ, y'all.
Love it. How old are you, TJ?
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I'm looking to do some more. I'm about 42.
Good for you.
Good for you. I'm so happy for you. TJ, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to blow you up. But a lot of us buy a house and we're like, all right, let's go to the next. What's next? We got to celebrate you, brother. That's a big deal, man.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. I noticed that there was this burned down house, and it was worth around 250,000. And I was just wondering, the property is about a quarter acre. The original house was a 4-2 with a pool. I'm not what I want to know. The owner's trying to sell it for 250, but I think the true value of it is like 100K, because we're gonna have to demo the house if we were to like invest in it, and we built the whole house and the pool and everything. I just wanted to know your ideas of how would you guys move forward, or would you guys attack that issue or problem?
You know what? I have just a couple of questions, and I want to give this to Chris because Chris has more experience demoing houses and building from scratch. Where is the property at? What part of Florida? You want to ask him that, Chris?
What part of Florida is it in, TJ? We got a delay on Dan for some reason. TJ?
Can you hear me? It's in Palm Beach County.
Palm Beach County, Dan.
Ask him what is the value of the lot, assuming there was no house on it.
Oh, I can't hear Dan.
Yeah,
but,
I gotta repeat it. What's the value of the lot, assuming there's no house on it? I'm going to repeat what Dan is asking.
Oh, 160K, but right now the house needs to be demolished. So, I'm factoring if I have to demolish the house
what's the
for
land?
the lot.
What's the land? What is the land without the house? What's that value?
Yeah, I think between 130 and 160K based off of the tax website.
I'm talking about the land is one. Okay, cool. So then he's saying the land.
What is it going to cost him to remove the house?
What's the demo cost?
Demo cost, I'm estimating about like 50 grand, like between 30 to 50 grand.
Can't pay 100 for it.
Why is it so high?
Because there's an existing pool. If you demo the house, there's a chance you damage the pool, and then you're gonna have to take out the pool and build a new one.
It could be 30 grand. Damn, that's
what's the after rent? Assuming you build a new house with the pool, how much is it going to cost you total?
Assuming you build a new house with a pool,
how much is it going to cost? What can he sell it for?
That's probably gonna be around like 300K. 300 to 400K.
What's the price? What's the ARV of that house after you build it?
That I haven't looked into. I haven't looked into seeing what the recent homes around that area sold for, but it's a very small, tight knit, kind of old fashioned community like you'd see on a TV show, and I figured it'd be a great value.
We love you, but we don't care about nothing that nostalgia and all that. We love you. All we want to know is TJ, the first question we ask ourselves before we look at any property: what can I sell it for? First question. What can I sell it for? I don't even run no numbers. So I don't know what I sell it for.
I think houses down there are selling around 500 to 600,000.
Yeah, that's nowhere close. Can't do that deal. Cost too much to build.
Explain it to him. Why?
Let's say you're in it for 100. The tear downs, let's say it is 50, right? You're in it for 150. New builds 300. Right. You're in it for 450. Cost to sell, all that stuff, realtor fees. You got 50,000 in fees gone. So you already to buy it. You already at 500,000 when you buy it. Because to get out of it, you're in it for 5. So when you do new construction, man, you got to have a lot of wiggle room because it's so much stuff. You got infrastructure issues, you got easement issues, you got neighbor issues, you got. I mean, God, I could go on and on and on and on.
And he's going to have to comply with new building codes,
new building codes in that area. Can bring it up to
Well, my career field is in construction, so I'm an engineer, licensed engineer. So so my idea was even seeing how the market is. If I was to take that house, build it back up, or tear it down and build a new house, maybe rent it out for the time being until the market recovers or the market improves. I don't know about that.
You will get more money when selling the property brand spanking new than you would if it wasn't new, especially if renters were there.
Hold up, Dan. What about doing a renovation? We can't just do a renovation and add on.
He's saying it's a tear down.
Oh, it's that bad? Is it that bad, TJ?
Is it a tear down?
Yeah, it's got to be demoed. The house is still standing.
Yeah, TJ, you sound like how old are you? You're 42, right?
42. Yeah.
Yeah, yes, sir.
We have to look at this thing like life energy. And I know you want to do deals. You know, everybody wants to do deals. I've got empathy. But the life energy, dude, as you know, you in construction, TJ, shit. You got a lot of life energy tearing this thing down and putting it back together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Not at those numbers, I wouldn't do it.
Dan's saying he wouldn't do that one. TJ, what makes you want to do it when there's obviously there's no room in it to fix it up to do a new construction and resell it? If it's only worth $550, what makes you want to do it?
I just love to see like building, creating life out of something that was like destroyed. It's a lot of homes that need to be rehabbed or burned down homes. I'd like to rebuild them just to create something new.
Well, you gotta get your price lowered, and you know what Dan and I love more than seeing renovated houses getting fixed up and put back on the market?
No. What is it?
We love making money.
Money, baby.
Sure.
So, I heard you say I love. I'm like, what? If you love that, then me and Dan might not be the guys to advise you on this, because you might just want to buy, right, Dan? It's no disrespect. You might just want to do it for the experience. I don't know.
Yeah. Like I want to get into it more, so I haven't done one by myself.
Yeah.
But I've done Habitat for Humanity a couple of times, and what I'm thinking is maybe,
get that price lowered, brother.
Got to get it lower.
Yeah, you probably
understand.
the most. Okay, TJ, good talking to you. We're going to go to the next caller.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you guys.
Okay, yep.
Goodbye.
Yeah, I will touch on it. Round up, homies. You got time, Dan? You good? These are called.
Yeah,
yo, this is the new format, yo. This is
I'm loving this format because we're getting some good questions on here. Thank you, everyone.
This is good stuff. Listen, if you want to hang out with Dan and get your questions in here, you're gonna get Dan Borrero and me for free. This is gonna cost you $450 if you hire both of us.
These questions woke me up tonight. I'm usually ready to go to bed by now, people. You guys are asking some really good questions. So come on.
And
live.
we got deals. The Roundup community is doing stuff like Instagram. I don't know, but the Roundup fam, we doing deals. Y'all call in live right now. Right, the phone number's dead after we get off the phone.
This is a good platform, Chris.
Yeah, this is cool. It took me months to figure this out, yo. I still don't have it done.
I feel like I'm a radio host. Like I'm gonna be a Howard Stern or something. The way they do that,
I'm gonna tell your wife you okay.
Yeah, gee, thanks.
Y'all, give us a thumbs up. Give Dan a follow. If you haven't followed us yet, give us a like. You have any real estate investing question, get it in. Call in right now. I'm going to keep talking here, Dan. I want to talk to you about Social Security. I did a live the other day, but Dan, I was talking to AI the other day about Social Security, and it said estimates around 40% of retirees are the only source of income. I want to talk to you about that, Dan. I want to talk about the only source of income. Caller, if you don't mind holding for a few seconds, I'm going to finish this quick question with Dan and we'll be right to you. Is that okay?
No problem.
Okay. Dan, look at this. 40% of retirees in the U.S. depend on Social Security as their only source of income. Dan, give me your thoughts on that.
Hence the reason why we need more mandatory financial education.
The 25,000
in the high school.
25,000.
This here
wow.
solidifies what I was saying earlier. Instead of giving people $25,000 to go buy a house that they're not prepared to manage because they obviously don't have a relationship with money, right? Why don't you give people the education with that money? Put it into the high schools. Put it into adult training, right? So that people have an understanding of what it's really for and how to make it and how to multiply it without having to go to work, 40 hours a week with it, right? Hence the reason why we need financial education, mandatory courses in the high schools.
Thank you, Dan. You know, man, you hit the nail on the head with that, dog. I didn't even think about that when you heard that 25,000. Your mind's like, should you even be buying a house? I mean, shouldn't we get you educated first?
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
Call us, state your name, and where you calling from.
Hey, how you doing, brothers? My name is Pat. I'm calling out of New York.
New York in the house.
What up, y'all? All the New Yorkers, the Northerners here tonight. All right, Pat. Thanks for calling, brother. What question you got? What can we help you with this evening?
All right, I'm buying a property out of state, and I need a rehab loan. I didn't want to go the hard money route because the interest rate is too high. But the rehab loans, what I'm finding is more that you have to be an occupant of the property, what you're trying to get the rehab loans for. I'm trying to find a different loan for that.
What state is it in?
What state is it in, Pat?
It's in Ohio.
Ohio.
You got to find, okay.
Yeah. All right. So go to my bio. Go ahead, Dan. You go, then I'll tell them what I got.
No. I know exactly where you're going. Go. I'd rather you tell them.
I'm just going, okay, man. Pat, tell me, before we recommend you how to get money, right? I don't like it. I just don't like throwing money at problems. It's always a bad thing. Pat, what are you doing with the property?
Yes. Well, it's a multi-unit.
How many
I'm
units?
going to rent it out on section. It's I believe it's a 2-unit.
Oh, it's a duplex. Okay, I ain't mad at it.
It's a duplex, and it needs a full renovation.
So we're talking.
Stop a second.
Mm-hmm. I need a full renovation.
Dan says
and when
stop.
I look into the
Go ahead, Pat. Oh, you want him to stop, Dan? He can't, because you got to delay, Dan. Dan want to chime in real quick.
Ask him what he means by he believes that it's a 2-family. Why?
Dan wants to know, why do you only believe it's a 2-family?
When we ask him, he should know everything about the property. Boom, boom, boom.
Why
boom.
don't you know exactly how many units it is?
I was in a delay right there. Little nervous, Dan. You gotta.
No doubt. Wait. Dan, you gotta come on, Dan. You don't be barking at the people, man. This is about round up.
Yeah.
Yo, man, that's the Brooklyn.
I feel like I'm on Hot 97 over here, bro.
Yo, man, listen, that's the Brooklyn in me, right? So I'm sorry.
Calm your ass. Listen, man, this is not fucking Flatbush and all that shit. Look, we're on. Yo.
I feel like I'm on the
Pat, my bad. You know, my
I feel like I'm on the Breakfast Club.
No
shit,
doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
I gotta go on top of my guests sometimes. Dan, you're a guest here on the roundup. So,
all right, I'm gonna chill.
Yo.
I want everyone to excuse my energy, but this is
man. But no, it's definitely a 2-family.
It's
okay. Good.
Good. So at least he went from he thinks to he knows.
Okay.
All right, I'm good with that.
And we good.
Dan, what about fucking call? I'm like, Dan, I think it's a 3. I think Dan would eat my shit. So let's go, Pat. I'm sorry.
Oh man, y'all great, yo.
Dan is a mess. Okay, so it needs a full renovation. What are you gonna do with it?
I'm going to Section 8 out.
Cool. All right,
I'm going to Section 8 out.
All right.
I have a question.
Dan got a question.
I find a lot of people coming from the Northeast New York going to Ohio.
I know.
1 second, Pat.
All right, go ahead, Dan.
I find a lot of people going from New York that are buying in Cleveland or in the Ohio area went there because they're following a mentor or somebody who does this.
That's true.
Now, whoever that person is should have the people you need, whether that be, they should also have mortgage brokers that finance that deal. Is that what happened in this situation? Is what I'm asking.
Yeah, I have people out there, right? But I also like to be informed before I bring stuff up, because I already have a property, a rental property out there already. It's a 4-unit.
Excellent.
So
Wow.
before I go and ask questions, I don't want them to feed me anything. So I just want to get more information for while I'm talking. I can have more knowledge of what I'm talking, and they not feeding me bullshit.
Nah, smart man. Damn New Yorkers got to make sure they smell everything and taste everything and know what's going on before even the plane lands. y'all are a mess. So he already kind of has an idea what he's going to do, Dan. So basically,
what's the question now? Chris, ask him what's the question.
So my question is, other from the hard money loan, what is the best route where I could go and get a rehab from? Because if the rehab takes more than 8 months or a year, I know it balloons out.
You get out of that, dog.
Well, ask him what's the interest rate they're offering him with the hard money.
What's the interest rate on the money you get now?
With the hard money.
With the hard money.
I got the
DCSR loan. The DSCR, debt service credit coverage ratio.
From the bank?
Yeah, it's gonna be from a bank. One of those DSCR.
Ask them what their interest rate is.
Do you know what the interest rate is, Pat?
Yeah, 7.5.
What's wrong with that? 7.5. What's wrong with that?
That's for my loan, but for the hard money loan, it's much higher. It's like around 11 for the hard money loan.
Why you need the hard money to do the reno?
To do the renovation.
Ask him how much is the renovation.
What's the total price of the renovation?
The total price would be around 70 to 80.
That's cheap to do 2 units, but I guess duplex, they're smaller units, correct?
And it's in Cleveland. Ask him what acquisition costs.
Well, what you buying it for?
Well, I'm getting it for is 130.
So you're in it for 210.
Okay, ask him. It's 210 plus his carrying cost. Let's say another 20,000. Is he keeping this?
230. He's keeping it to Section 8. Remember?
Yeah. What's the after renovation value?
What's it worth, Pat?
Afterwards.
What's it worth?
Yeah, I'm going to keep it for Section 8. Well, the comps in that area is breaking even around that there. So it's like, how to say it? Let's say the house doesn't value for what the comps is. I don't want to end up putting money out of my pocket to cover the hard money loan, because after I fix up the house, it should be just in that area what I owe for the hard money loan.
Turn your TV down just a little bit. We got a lot of feedback.
All right.
He has his screen on. Is what it is. He's listening.
He can't hear you for some reason. He got to listen to you in the screen and me on the mic.
I can't hear. I hear you on the phone, but I can't hear Dan.
No doubt.
So if you don't mind, just tell him this.
He can hear you on the echo. It's just on the echo. I mean, on a delay.
So if the property is going to be worth 230 after it's fully renovated, you cannot be into that property for more than 172.5, 173,000. That is after your acquisition, your closing costs to buy it, after your renovation costs, and then after you refinance it, because there's a cost to refinance to pay off your hard money lender. You cannot be into that property for more than 173. Because that difference of
I said that too. And I'm trying to bargain it down. I was trying to get it for 100 or 95, and that lady.
The lady what?
She doesn't want to come down. So I'm about to walk away from the deal.
Then you walk away.
Because I don't think that I don't want to risk it and get it fixed up, and I don't get the money back, and I'm coming out of pocket paying for the hard money loan.
You're gonna have to come out of pocket if anything goes.
Anything goes wrong.
Anything goes wrong, and I'm just not that good. Dan and we're not that good to where we run these jobs, and it comes,
Hey Pat,
to get lower.
Tell Pat everything he's thinking he's 100% spot on. Tell him if you don't mind, because we have a delay.
He can hear you. He hear you.
You're 100.
Man, I appreciate y'all, man.
You right on the ball.
You are right on the ball.
You right on the ball.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you.
The way you're supposed to be thinking, Pat.
Yeah, you are. You right on the ball. You know what's weird, Pat? Let me tell you something. Dan and I the same way. We'll be doing something. Am I doing it right? Let me call Dan, man. Shit, what would Dan? You know, so sometimes, no matter how many deals you've done, no matter how many years you've been in this shit, it's always good to hear something from another professional from time to time. You mess up when you just out there. I know I got this. I know. You know, so Dan, we talk all the time. Like, Dan, I was thinking about this. No, I don't know about that, kid. You need to think, you know, oh, he'll say, yeah, well, you know, that's what we do. You know, so you on the ball, man.
Sometimes I'm thinking I'm not doing good on
it. Man, I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all keep up the good work, man.
All right, my brother. See you soon. Thank you.
Any questions I have, man, I'll be hitting up your Instagram page, Chris, man. Keep me in mind, man. Remember my name.
I will, brother. Good to hear from you. You got if you need consultations, both of us got links you can get right to us on IG. Okay.
And I do my free mentorship class every
I appreciate you.
So
he can still hear you though, Dan. You just got a delay.
Yeah, I want people to understand. Sometimes I think I'm not doing a good deal, and I'll call Chris, and Chris is like, "Are you crazy?" Like, that thing is badass. Like, you got to jump on that, right? So, you know, it's good to bounce off. It's good to be, and the way you could do that is to be part of communities. Put yourself in that community. Put yourself in that RIA group. Put yourself go to conferences and make those relationships.
These are some excellent calls, Dan. We'll take one more call here tonight, but hopefully we'll be able to add this in every Sunday. I think this is
we just got to perfect it a little bit.
I got to get it. Yeah. I don't know how to do it.
This was awesome tonight, man. I woke up.
I see you. Well, y'all woke Dad up, y'all. 757-204-1332. Give us a call. Let us know your questions. What are you doing? How can we help you? Or you're buying something. You're looking to buy something. How do you borrow money? And Pat, if you're still on here, Dan, this is exactly why I teach, and not only do I do private money. I don't worry about short-term loans, I just don't even think about it because I know my lenders they got my back whenever I need them. It's like the relationships that we have developed are people that loan us money all the time.
Case in point, look, when I first met Chris in 2019, he's like, "But damn, why are you not doing private money?" And I said, "Because I don't want to feel like I'm going with hat in hand asking people for money." Remember that, Chris?
Yeah, hat in hand.
I was like, Chris was like, "Wait a minute.
I'm Dan Borrero. I don't borrow money," you know, so it's really like...
Yeah, Chris was like, "You're doing people a favor because you're giving them a higher rate than they're going to get in the bank. It's secured against the property. They're going to have the first mortgage on the property.
Yep.
So it's not about you asking for money. It's about you giving them the opportunity to invest in real estate, and it's secured against the property. If you don't pay them, they take the property."
They take the property, y'all. Hold on, I can change colors on this thing? Oh, good. I'm not going to do that. 757-204-1332. We're going to take one more call. Hang out with me and Dan Borrero. Get your questions in. That's right, Matthew. Seek wise counsel. Seek counsel.
Always.
That's the only way you're going to do it.
The worst thing I found, the worst mistake I ever made was thinking I knew everything. And then
take you out of here.
Then you get your ass handed to you.
Yep.
Because you thought you knew everything. And you get humbleized real quick.
It will take you out of here thinking you know how to do all this stuff.
Yeah, and then when you get humbleized, the thing is to stay humble. Even when you're making a shitload of money, stay humble, because it's going to come back to bite you in the ass.
If you got to stay humble. Deborah wants to talk about SSA. What is SSA? Oh, Social Security Administration. Yeah, that'd be something I would love to hear about that on another call. We'll talk about that on another call. But Dan, this has been cool. We got 30 people on here. If any final thoughts, I don't think anybody else has. Anybody wants your questions right there. The link is you don't even have to click a link. Just pick your phone, call. We'll take it right live right now. Dan, anything you want to drop on us before we get out of here?
No, listen up. You know, I love doing this. I appreciate everyone that came on with the phone calls today. And I know we had some technical difficulties or challenges, I should say.
No, we're working on it.
But
we try.
Yeah, Chris will definitely have it fixed by the next time we do this. I have all the
Right.
confidence in the world in him. So, thank you for joining us tonight. I can't thank you all enough. I was ready to go to sleep, and those phone calls woke me up. Because they were good questions, and I got to thank everybody that came on the phone calls, because whether they realize it or not, they were helping the other.
It takes a
other
lot of guts.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of guts, Dan, to say I'm thinking about doing this. And
Yes.
I am so honored to have you guys here. Dan and I, we do this every day, right? We're just making these decisions. But if you're kind of new and you haven't made a $100,000-$300,000 decision to buy a piece of real estate, it could be overwhelming. And Dan, I want to talk about the guy from Brooklyn. In my mind, like a regular, like a hard. I just finished a rehab here in Virginia. It was 100,000, one house. So a Brooklyn brownstone is far more intricate than a house in Virginia.
So I
A
would
3-unit.
the total gut, I would figure that job at 600, between 5 to 600,000.
That's what I was thinking. Our minimum is. I'm like,
I want to share this. These are numbers that I was.
you writing down?
Yeah, these are numbers I was discussing with that I figured is what I'm willing to pay out. I got 4 estimates. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just doing a waterproofing job on one of my buildings.
Oh damn.
They're going to be scraping the Cornish. This is in Parksville, Brooklyn. They're going to be scraping the Cornish, replacing any rotted wood that's on the Cornish. They're going to grind out all the bricks, right? Okay, let's start from the beginning. They're going to scrape the Cornish, replace any rotted wood. Then they're going to grind out all of the cement that's in between the bricks. Then they're going to acid wash the entire building, and then they're going to power wash the entire building, and then they're going to scrape and repaint the fire escape. So they're going to scrape the fire escape, they're going to give it a primer and 3 coats of oil-based Rust-Oleum paint. Then they're going to give the Cornish 3 coats of paint, and then, but to do all that, I also got to put up a shed, guys, and I want you to check out this shed. It's I don't know if you can see it here. Let me see. $7,500 for that shed and permits. Right.
Tell
there.
them what a shed is, Dan.
The shed is the walkway. The shed is it's what they put up on the sidewalk to make sure no debris injures anybody. $7,500 to rent that shed. Right. And to have the architect pull the permits to get the shed. All right. So this job is going to cost me $40,000. It's right here, guys.
You ain't doing nothing inside.
I just negotiated that deal.
You're not doing nothing inside.
That's just for the front of the building. $40,600.
God. Deborah says he loves us. Deborah, we love you too, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So, when you're talking to me about the inside, that's not even the outside work. This is Brooklyn. Everything is triple, double, minimal, double, probably triple.
I'm thinking, scaffolding, same thing. I'm thinking like for me, 100,000 for a whole house. You at least 150 times 3. That's 4. In my mind, I was like 450 plus exterior, like 500. So anyway, Dan, your wealth of knowledge, especially from our people up north, they have no idea all the mess you've been through renovating properties. And I don't think people understand, if your property is old, you can't hire just any dude. I would probably say, Dan, out of 10 contractors, how many know how to do that old, what do you call it, pre-war construction or whatever? Out of 10 guys.
Well, it all depends what region you're in, right? So if you're here in New York City, everyone's going to tell you they know how to do it. You're lucky if you get 2 out of 10. That really
2 out of 10.
Some guys may have worked with somebody who knew how to do it, but they don't know how to manage it, right? So, it's one thing to know how to do the work, and it's another thing knowing how to manage it. There's a lot of people that could do managing. There's a lot of people who could actually do the work. Very few people that could do the work and manage.
Oh my Lord. That's almost 2 jobs.
Yes.
Okay, we got to get
it is 2 jobs. Under one hat. Which is Chris, think about it. That's what you and I do. We can do the work and we can manage.
You gotta manage it. I ain't doing no more work though. Well, we're not on that side. I do a lot of other work, but yeah. You gotta learn how to do it. You gotta have a lot of hats in the game. I saw you doing that brick point up on that stack.
And I'm always preaching to people like, listen, that contractor, I've been working with him 20 years. 20 years.
It's priceless.
But guess what? I still went up on that scaffolding. I still got up on that roof, and I'm going to check it. I trust the guy, but I'm going to verify, right? And while I was up there, I was like, wait a minute, why did you do this? And why didn't you do that? And he was like, all right, I guess I'll do it. So he's been with me 20 years.
Still.
And I don't think he was trying to take a shortcut, but it was easier the way he was doing it. But I wanted that extra.
Yeah.
Right. So, that's the difference between the guys that, that say they're real estate investors, but won't go on a roof or scaffolding, versus the guys that say, screw that shit. I'm going to get up there and make sure I see with my own eyes and it's done.
Better look at it. Especially up there, Dan. You got such harsh weather down here. I mean, you got to check it, but it's only, you feel the motor in and you're gone. But up there, where you're at.
Different animal. The snow and the ice will screw you up.
Yeah, your joint will last for 3 years. That ice getting there and it expands. It's just one of these, your whole joint be leaning. Yeah.
Done. And that chimney was 100 years old.
Yeah.
It looked like it had work done on it about 50, 40 years ago. So, but if I want to make sure that I don't have a catastrophe and it collapses,
no doubt,
this is what you got to do. And that job wasn't cheap. That was like another $8,500 job
to do the stack.
Yep.
Good God, Deborah, one of my members. I got to answer a question. Does Section 8 still have housing grants, and can the Section 8 be used for Subject 2? Don't know about the grants, but yes, you could use Section 8 for Subject 2. Matt, do we still do slow flips? Absolutely. I do lease options and contract for deed. Neither one, I don't care. I'm impartial to either one. All right, Dan, I'm going to bed.
Good night, everyone. Thank you all for being here, and I want to give a special thanks to everyone that came on live with us tonight on the phone. We appreciate you're putting your fear aside, because that's not easy to do.
It's not. No. Yeah, because Dan, look how long it took Dan. Dan is a master at this talking now, but just to hop on here, my man, he was from the city. Y'all, you shook him up. Dan, what the hell? You shook my man up.
You know what?
If you're just joining us, rewind about 20 minutes. Dan went all in on the dude.
That wasn't going. I wasn't.
That was light.
That's my New York mentality, I guess, coming out. I was like, like,
yeah, you a mess, man. We'll see y'all next week.
Thank you, everyone.
Peace.